I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
I knew it. I love when he does that.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
Gentlemen, in my soul, something, something, Cody Rhodes. I'm the tribal chief around here. Yeah, you see me, the tribal chief. That's right.
Time. But let me go ahead and tell you.
Shut your bitch ass up.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 485 of the Hoots Podcast here on this Friday, October 3rd, 2025. It's yours truly, the nefarious brother Adam, a.k.a. Joshie Lopez. Happy release day for The Life of a Showgirl from the GOAT, Taylor Swift. I got to check out the album last night before I went to bed. I'll give you my thoughts about it a little later. We got some shit to talk here on the monologue. Welcome to the show, everybody. Like I said, this is episode 485. We're on the road to episode 500 of the Hoots Podcast, which will be our final edition of the podcast at Hoots. You feel that feeling in your gut that like closure is coming, and these weeks keep flying by, and I'm really trying my best to at least go out on a high note when it comes to this podcast. And there's so many of these wrestling podcasts that you can choose from. So I do appreciate any of you who've still been riding with us for this journey. And I hope as I exit the field of wrestling talk, you guys understand the effort and thought that I put into the show, and hopefully it's meant something to you, because it's meant a lot to me. There's a message, and I want to share about what this podcast has meant to me, and I'm going to share it in a little bit, but I want to get some stuff out of the way. The Hoots Podcast home is Odyssey Creator Labs. I want to send a big shout out to everybody from there for having us, and we appreciate the platform. We really, really do. I got an announcement. The Surf Files, the new podcast that I'll be doing once the Hoots Podcast is over. The Surf Files, which is my Vanderpump Rules podcast, will be beginning in January. And for those who are following along with this, subscribe to this channel right now, I don't want you guys to worry. We're not making a new RSS feed. The channel will remain the same. We'll change the name of the podcast, and I have a new logo and everything. But if you guys can do us a favor, if you go on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, make sure to follow us at the Surf Files. So for those who checked out Vanderpump Rules, it's SUR, okay? So if you can follow the new podcast, it will be coming out in 2026. It's called the Surf Files. It's going to be a doozy. It's a new project that I'm looking forward to. And I'm not going to be alone. Matt McCool will be my co-host for this project. He's really big into the Bravo world, and I don't think there's anybody else that I would want to start this project with besides Matt. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure to check out the Surf Files. Make sure to subscribe and follow to the podcast on TikTok, YouTube, and make sure to follow us on Instagram if you can. As far as myself, you can follow me on X at the Hoots Podcast. Instagram, I'm at Josh Lopez Music. Same thing when it comes to this podcast. Make sure to follow it on anywhere you get your favorite podcast from. Make sure to hit that bell notification on top on YouTube so you never miss any uploads or anything like that on the Hoots Podcast channel. We appreciate the support. We're currently like around 575 subscribers. I appreciate all the new subscribers to the channel. Also, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers on there too, on YouTube. So we appreciate the support. And yeah, let's get into it. Excuse me. I have a lot of things that have been running through my mind as this countdown is continuing to episode 500. Like with this weekend, I'm going back to Superior to babysit my dog one last time. The wheels are going to start going in motion with my move to Florida, and it's coming close. I had a conversation with my dad yesterday, and I'm going to start going into like sending out applications and stuff like that in November, and hopefully either beginning of December or by New Year, I'll be out of Chicago. So that's the update with the move, everybody, for those that wanted to know. But going back to what I want to express here with the podcast is I've had a lot of thoughts in my mind about a lot of things, and all correlate to the podcast, right? A lot of the stuff where I feel in a lot of ways, a lot of people have been taking this John Cena retirement tour for granted in a lot of ways. Kind of the same way a lot of people took the return of The Rock for granted, you know, and everything he did to help make WrestleMania 40 what it was, you know. And I know a lot of people have their thoughts about him not showing up at WrestleMania 41 and blah, 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 blah. That's not what this podcast is going to be about. But when I think about this, John Cena did not have to do this retirement tour. The Rock didn't have to come back and did what he did on the lead up to WrestleMania 40. And show it to all the shows that he did show going into WrestleMania 40. And I asked myself this question too. Where I was in 2016, where I was at my house with WrestleZone, I was almost done with wrestling media in general. I don't think a lot of people know this. Before we started this podcast, I was getting very, very close to like saying I'm done with broadcasting and going back to pursuing music. I was that close to being done. And now I'm back into this similar crossroads where I'm interested in, and I'm contemplating going into a different path than what I'm doing. Now, I'm not stupid. I got bills to pay. I got shit to do, and I'm moving to a different state soon. And I'm not coming on here and telling you guys that I'm going to be done with all broadcasting and et cetera, because I love my job. I love making transcripts. I love covering the shows. That's not going to stop. Anybody that thinks that just because I'm done with the Hoots Podcast, that means that I'm leaving the space entirely. That's not true. I'm leaving this cesspool of a hellhole that is wrestling media talk and podcasting and stuff like that because it's not fun for me anymore. There's no substance or purpose to it anymore. And when I think about where I was in 2016, you know, just coming off the heels of the Pro Wrestling Experience show that I was doing and about to leave WrestleZone because I was dealing with backstage politics. So stupid. Like, you're on a wrestling website, you got to play politics because you want to send somebody else besides me to WrestleMania because the guy was a wannabe fucking stand-up comedian. Whatever. When I look at this podcast, and I didn't have to do this. And I think that's a very important life lesson I want to express with you guys when it comes to this process. When it comes to this process and reflection, you don't have to do anything that you don't want to. You do things because you want to, and you have passion, and you care about it. I didn't have to do this podcast. I didn't have to make transcripts for a living. John Cena didn't have to do this retirement tour. The Rock didn't have to come back when he did. You know, CM Punk didn't have to come back to the WWE. AJ Lee didn't have to come back to the WWE. They did it because they want to, and they love what they do, and they love their craft. Sure, a lot of people can say people's decisions are only 100% based on money. I'm not a person that lives with a glass half empty mindset, so that's not how I view life, and that's not how I carry myself. I lost my drive and passion in 2016 for all of this. The writing aspect, the broadcasting aspect of it. I lost it all. And I thank God for my brother, Adam Daly, for being in my life at that time. And we were having so many just fun conversations prior to the show, just like talking about life, talking about comedy. The election with when Trump was about to first come in was coming in hot, and we had a lot of conversations about that. And Adam had a lot of concerns about the future of the country, and I shared those sentiments with him. I've never been a Trump person, so it is what it is. But just in the nature of those conversations that we had, I thought about it, like, if I was going to do this and push forward and do another wrestling show, Adam had to be the person to be on this journey with me. And it's the best decision I fucking made. Doing this podcast has been the best decision that I've made in my entire career in broadcasting. I'm very grateful and humble for the fact that I was able to finish first in my class at the broadcasting school that I went to. I'm very grateful for the people that I've been able to network with and learn from over the years, like Jonathan Hood and Steven Muehlhausen and Andrew Baydala. I'm grateful for the people that I met that now have become brothers to me, like Brother Carter, like Sam Piopo, like Patrick Fritz, like Matt McCool, B-Rob, Referee Tony, Brandon, our whole crew for the Hoots Podcast. This show has never been just about me. It's about everybody that's been part of this journey. And we didn't have to do this. We did it because we loved it. I'm beyond grateful for Adam, being part of this show and helping me get this off the ground. Raising a beautiful daughter. Putting time out of his way to do this podcast for us. Brother Carter lives a busy life, and he's a professor of music, and he works at colleges, and he has a busy life, and now he's married. I love that run that I had with Brother Carter. I really did. We had a blast. I loved the pipe bomb days. It was edgy. We had no filter. We said what was on our mind, and we didn't give a fuck. And I'm proud of that show. I really am. Just like I'm proud of this show. Because the purpose of the Hoots Podcast was to bring you an element of wrestling talk that you didn't get anywhere else. And what we were able to do with this show and to turn it around to give you the feel as if you were in a backyard on a Saturday night just shooting the shit with your best friends, and you're talking about wrestling and you're talking about life, and you can just be yourself. That's really what the Hoots Podcast was founded on. And we wanted to make this space positive and, provide maybe a different outlook on things and maybe kind of look at the business from a bigger picture point of view. I love this show. This project is the project that I'm most proud of. And I'm glad to say that we are getting to the final point here, because things do need to come to an end, and things do need to have their proper send-off. This is going to be an amazing chapter of my life. I'm not done broadcasting. I'm not giving up on myself. I'm not giving up on my goals. But this project, I think, now has truly, truly served its purpose, and I can accept that, and I can accept the closure that's coming with this show. We're going to get to 500, and I kept my promise to you guys, and I hope that you take away from this that I was consistent with the show. I stayed true to who I was this entire time, and I kept true to my word. I hope you guys really take that away. In your life, you don't have to do anything to appease anybody. You don't have to fit a certain mold. You don't have to have your opinions dictated by other people. That's why I've always stressed on this show at the end, Be the authentic product that is yourself. Nobody dictates the pace of your life but yourself, the man upstairs. I love this show. And of course, I'm gonna miss it. I really will. But just with life, you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. If you love something, do it and don't look back. And for the love of God, I express this from the bottom of my heart, guys. Think for yourself, honestly. Think for yourself, especially if you're going to be in the wrestling content space. Think for yourself. This place is littered enough with people who copy everybody else's shit. You got streamers who can't think for themselves and use their stream to be 90% negative so they can get super chats and donations and questions. I know how the game works. You want to stand out in this field? Be yourself. Be positive. Do something different than coming on a live stream on YouTube or a podcast or a dirt sheet website show and try to flex your muscle about how smart of a booker you think you are. Because you're not. I'm not. We're all not. Think for yourself. You don't have to do anything to appease anybody but yourself. You don't have to think a certain way. You don't have to look at the business a certain way. Do things on your own accord. Be fucking proud of the fact that you took a risk to come on a platform like this, because as somebody like myself who's grown up being super shy for a large part of my life and not being able to be accepted, understood, or given a chance to be recognized or acknowledged, I took a risk becoming a broadcaster. I took a risk starting this podcast. I took a risk putting myself out there to you guys. And we've had a lot of deep, emotional, and vulnerable conversations on this show. And from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you for being with us as we have our final 15 episodes. Just know that I gave the show everything that I could. I really did. And that, folks, is our monologue this week. When we come back, we'll get to what happened on Raw and SmackDown this week and talk a little bit about No Mercy. We got this NXT TNA Showdown show to preview, and of course, your questions for the Back Porch Q&A session right here on episode 485 of the Hoots Podcast. We'll be right back. Yeet. Welcome back to the Hoots Podcast, episode 485. Don't forget to always hit the like and smash the subscribe button on YouTube. And always support the Hoots Podcast, man. We're not done yet. Still got a lot of shows to document. We got Survivor Series. We got John Cena's last match. We still got a lot of ground to cover before we get out with this project and go to the sunset. But let's continue on here. Before we get to like the weekly stuff, I gotta play this. You know me. I gotta hold people accountable. But I want to play a piece of audio first before I go into the spiel. Dave LaGreca on Pro Wrestling Nation was on as a guest with Sam Roberts, and I think you guys know where I'm going with this. LaGreca had a meeting with The Rock and kowtowed and chased the hug more than I ever seen anybody chase the hug before. Let's hear this conversation. It's 10 minutes. You'll get my reaction after this.
Oh boy. Okay, this is what I was hoping. I was hoping that you would come by. I'm talking about the Vision and all the different stories that have been going on in the Vision. However, there are other stories that have been going on. There are stories that have been going on across Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7. What are you wearing?
I'm wearing a dress Cody shirt.
Cody Rhodes shirt. And then what's under it?
Another Cody shirt.
Dave LaGreca is here. Busted Opens. Dave LaGreca, you're wearing 2 Cody shirts.
Yes.
Dave, why are you wearing 2 Cody shirts?
Well, first of all, before
You're a man of a
anything,
certain age.
before anything.
By the way, the glasses match the shirt. I do appreciate
Yes,
that.
and that's why I got him.
Yeah.
I do want to
To match the
acknowledge.
shirt?
I do want to acknowledge top 10 board up Susumu.
Top 1 board up. Who's a better board up than Susumu?
No, I'm saying top 10 all time, but number 1 right now at SiriusXM Susumu.
Top 10 board up, number 1 in our hearts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. All right.
Let's not give him too much credit.
No, that's right. That's right.
I'm sorry to take time out. I
No.
appreciate it. I listen. And by the way, Sam, I know I've told you this, and probably the nation knows because I've called in. I listen every day.
That's incredible.
I listen every single day.
That's incredible.
Love it.
And it's
Love it.
it's very, very flattering to me. It's very, very nice of you to say. And you giving me this opportunity. I mean, today, we just spent an hour talking about, defectors in wrestling, going from one side to another and taking a trip down memory lane and just having 2 hours a day to just come on here and do 2 things. 1, talk wrestling. 2, make Susumu a household name. It's like... This is the opportunity you've afforded me. Why are you wearing 2 Cody Rhodes t-shirts?
Right, so here's the deal. Rock was at SiriusXM today.
Oh, I saw him last night.
Doing a town hall. Mm-hmm. Did you get a chance to talk to him?
I did. Of
Okay.
course I did.
So he's doing a town hall here at SiriusXM Smashing Machine.
Right. Great movie, by the way. Fabulous.
I heard, and he's supposed phenomenal.
Yeah.
And there I see the picture of you with our own Bishop Dyer.
Yeah.
Good. Thanks, Bishop, for giving me a call, telling me you were in town.
Yeah, I mean, he could have probably invited you to this.
I mean,
Would have been nice.
there's a lot.
That's the second missed invite that you got.
There's a lot in that picture. Oh, yeah, this and the Zach. This burns me more than the Zach wedding.
It does?
Yes, this burns me more than the Zach wedding.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, Rock's here. I got to take the opportunities in our house.
Can I tell you what I saw earlier today?
Go ahead.
And, I'll say disgusted by it.
Okay.
You walking around in a pink robe.
Yeah, I wore the pink robe.
And I told Eddie, I was like, what's he doing walking around in a pink robe?
I wore the pink robe to get his attention, to make him known that I was there.
Because it's a bright color.
And also, he put me with the pink robe on his Instagram.
He put you over.
Yes. So I wanted to make him aware that I was here.
Pink robe guy is
and
here.
I didn't know how he would react. He could react because I wanted to be up front. So I didn't know if he would react by
as up front as one can be in a pink robe.
Well, no, I wanted him to know that I was here, so he can make the decision whether he's going to be like, all right, there's that crazy LaGreca guy. Let me go make a left when he's making a right.
That's right.
Or
that's smart.
He actually acknowledges me. So he got done with whatever yes, Smashing Machine, Oscar-worthy performance, yada, yada, yada.
I probably could have done that town hall.
Oh, why didn't you?
That's a question. Ask Eddie.
I can understand why I didn't, because if I did, I wouldn't ask one question about.
No, you're a bit of a loose cannon.
Yeah, but I wouldn't ask one question.
I wouldn't have worn a Cody t-shirt to the town hall.
So anyway, he comes out, and at first I'm thinking he's just going to brush by me, but then he recognizes me and he goes, "Oh, LaGreca."
Hey.
And then I said, "Listen. You and I have not always seen eye to eye.
Oh, my God.
So I have a gift for you."
Oh, my God.
And I gave him the first original Cody Crybaby pink robe.
You're acting like it's Dusty's Rolex.
Listen, in a lot of ways it is.
Listen, I'll tell you what. It was an incident that I feel like put Busted Open on another level.
Yes.
That level of attention, the acknowledgement from the final boss.
And how about this acknowledgement from the final boss? He thanked me. He said, I don't know if I told Brian Gewirtz to get in touch with you, which he didn't. And he said, because I wanted to let you know, thank you. I wanted to thank you for helping along this story and making this work.
Are you exposing the business? I thought we don't do that.
He did.
Is this unreal?
This is the second time. This is the second time.
We're going full unreal.
Yeah. So
that happened.
And I
That's
said,
incredible.
I said, it kind of
incredible.
I said, thank you.
Wait a minute. Did we just finish the story?
Adrenaline. Now, here's the other part of it.
Okay.
I thanked him for WrestleMania 40. He said, yeah, wasn't it great? Wasn't it awesome? And I said, could have used you at 41. And that's when conversation got wrapped up. And
Okay, we're good. We're good there. Yeah.
But he.
The fact that you carried it as long as you did, without a let's wrap this thing up, I'd say kudos to you.
Yeah, I would have gone further, but Big Boss Man Eddie Brasili wants to make sure that
We did it.
Yeah, we did it. We got it.
Yeah.
Come on, let's wrap it up.
We did it.
Yeah, hit the back time bed. Let's go home.
Yeah, sure.
So that's what we did.
Wow, that's incredible.
Gave me a hug, gave me a real hug, like a tight hug. No, it was almost like a tight hug, like, was it a hug of love or a hug of...
I'm letting you know.
Yeah,
I'm letting you know.
Like, how powerful I am.
As they F around and find out type of hug.
But...
I mean, that's an incredible... First of all, I also love that you're being honest about the whole interaction and going, this is exactly how it went. Tell me the truth. This is something that I have told you for a long time. Is he not a wonderful guy?
He's the one. Yeah, I
try to tell you.
He could have blown by,
100%.
and he was just... But the fact that he said that, like, that he thanked me.
And when he talked, first of all, he said, oh, LaGreca. Not, oh, Sirius. Not, oh, Pink Robe guy.
But he asked...
LaGreca.
He asked how's the channel doing? He asked about Mark, and he asked about, everybody on the channel.
Yeah, he knows.
Yeah, he knows. And even when I presented the Pink Robe, he's like, oh, the Pink Robe. I did ask him to put it on. He was like, I'm not putting this on.
He's going for an Oscar.
And I also said that the last thing I said is, like, make sure when you go and accept that trophy thing that you're going to get.
Whatever
whatever they call it, to thank me. And he goes, you know what? I'll wear the Pink Robe. Which tells you he's not winning.
He's not even going to get invited. I don't think he's going to wear the Pink Robe. I think that might have been...
But, I feel...
Classic Rock.
Yeah, he's...
But when he locked in, when you had the conversation with him, he was locked in on you, eye contact.
No, it went a lot long. Like, again, if Eddie didn't wrap it up, it would have went on. And, the people... I'm saying, but the reason why Eddie did that, because... he's got a lot of the PR people.
Well, also, nobody's going to talk to you, and nobody's going to talk to Rock, but they will talk to him and be like, you got to control your guy.
Yes, exactly.
Over here talking about
I could see, and Rock doesn't care, but I could see in my view, like, his people were getting very...
Sure.
Like, come on. Somebody yelled, we're holding the elevator, whatever that means.
Right.
The door will open again.
We got six. We got 6 of them.
Yeah, it's not like once it closes, it doesn't open again.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to wait 30 minutes for the next elevator.
Right.
So,
I mean, that's great. Does it feel good? Does it feel completed?
I feel good.
Did you try to get him to invite you to a creative meeting?
He didn't. You know what?
You should have said that.
There's only so much I could ask in that short period of time.
That's true. I feel like you made the most of your time, though.
But the fact that he thanked me for WrestleMania 4, like I said, thank you. He goes, no, thank you.
Well, yeah, because he knows. He's telling the story online. He wouldn't have. You know what? If he didn't like what you were doing, he wouldn't have said a word.
Yeah, he would have just walked by.
Yeah.
The power of Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7.
Isn't that amazing?
The power of, let's just say, the people in this room.
Yes.
The power
raise
of
your hand.
Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7. And Zach the intern.
Yes. Who's impressed by Susumu's work.
Susumu is like...
Let me tell you something about Susumu.
Please do.
The fact that I can pull off a show with any kind of morale is an absolute miracle. I am back against the wall with this guy. As soon as we walk in, you know what he was trying to do? He was trying to figure out if there was somebody that he could ask to stand in his spot so that he could go look at Jeremy Allen White. I said, Susumu, sit your ass right there. Here's what you go home and brag to your friends about. You get to be the board op on Not Sam Wrestling Live. Sam Roberts is sitting here talking to you all. Like, this is it. What you're doing here is it. You don't go home and say, guess who I looked at today?
Yeah, like you work with Sam Roberts. And by the way, you should be thanking Sam, because I said it to you, Susumu, and you didn't believe me. No. I said, by the time I get home, this video will have 25,000 views. I said that to Susumu. I said, by the time I get home, and when I got home, I looked, 25,000 views of you smelling a candy bar.
That's right. You had to make sure it wasn't rotten. All I do is show him love. All I do is use my power to put him on a pedestal.
Your platform.
And he spits on me.
Yeah, he was kind of overrated in Iron Claw, I gotta tell you.
I could have played a better Kerry. Dave, congratulations. What a day in the history of Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7.
Oh, fuck me, man. Jesus Christ. Am I alone in this? Does the sound of Sam Roberts' voice just make your fucking skin crawl? Like, oh my God. What a fucking egotistical, snarky prick. Oh my God. You hear that, Dan? Oh, I could have done a better Kerry Von Erich. Oh, fuck off. No, you can't. Fucking Bill Burr's fucking demented little cousin is not gonna fucking do shit. Oh my God. There's so many thoughts, but it's literally right there. All the bullshit, all the catcalling, all the personal shots that LaGreca threw the Rock's way because he was forcing his way into the main event of WrestleMania, and we gotta fill the wrestling echo chamber with shitty-ass narratives that have no substance or nuance to it. But hey, The Rock's at Sirius XM. Hey, man, let me kiss your ass. Let me give you my wife's robe that you made me look like an asshole in. Oh, my God. Oh, this face fucking doesn't surprise me as the days go by. It's one thing hearing LaGreca, like, backpedal with the whole Rock situation, but now I have to listen to 10 minutes of Sam Roberts and his smug, arrogant ass. Oh my God, man. The things I do for this show for you guys. Let's get into this. No Mercy. This past Saturday. We'll make this quick. Got No Mercy from this past Saturday in Fort Lauderdale. It was a fun show. Some good stuff. Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe's weaponized steel cage match was a lot of fun. I gotta tell you what, man, Blake Monroe, when you want to talk about waterfall, she's like upper top tier when it comes to waterfall. God, that's a beautiful woman, man. She made Dudley Boy Gear look hotter than probably Stacy Keibler did. I'm not kidding. She's that hot, man. But her match with Jordan Grace was awesome. Javon Evans and Josh Briggs to kick off the show. I thought it was a good match. Shout out to Javon to gain the victory. By the way, I need to see Javon Evans and Leon Slater at Bound for Glory. That's going to be a dope match. But more importantly, I would love to see them as a tag team because there's some real potential right there. You want to talk about some things that would elevate the tag team wrestling scene? If you add Javon Evans and Leon Slater together, you're cooking with gas, bro. You really are. What else? I really enjoyed the JC Jane and Lola Vice match. It was good. It was physical. Maybe a little bit too much interference with Fallon Henley. She ended up getting ejected from ringside finally, but JC Jane retained thanks to help from Lady Reed that was wearing a black hoodie at ringside. JC Jane is on a roll. I think she's been a fantastic NXT Women's Champion. Not enough people in my field give her props for what she does in the ring and her character work. She's one of my favorites from NXT, so I've been a big JC fan. I've been a big JC Jane fan since day one, and I'm happy for her success. Then Ricky Saints in Omafemi was the main event. Very, very good match if you guys haven't seen it. Ricky Saints is your new NXT champion, so congratulations go out to Ricky Saints for capturing the championship. Very good main event, and I thought it was an interesting call. I didn't think it was going to be something where Oba was going to carry the title all the way to stand and deliver again, but probably the right call at the right time, obviously. So congratulations go out to Ricky Saints on that one. Really quick stuff from Raw. Loved the stuff with Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins this week on Raw. That's pro wrestling storytelling. The little backstage vignette thing that they aired behind the scenes about their history and their rivalry. I loved that. The stuff in the ring. And, a lot of people pose the question, who is Seth Rollins without the dance and the cackle and all of that in between? I'll tell you who Seth Rollins is. Seth Rollins is the guy who doesn't get his props, and he's jealous character-wise. He's that guy that you all go to work with that's damn good at his craft, but for whatever reason, he's never put in the top position. And he's going to do anything he can to get himself into that position. That's who Seth Rollins is. So, easy answer to that question. Rusev and Dominic's IC title matchup, that was pretty good. What else? They added Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. They'll be taking on the Kabuki Warriors at Crown Jewel. That's official. We got John Cena and AJ Styles. That's official for Crown Jewel as well. Stephanie Van Curry and Tiffany Stratton. That's going to be a good match at Crown Jewel as well. We got Cody and Seth, obviously. Then we got the Tribal Chief coming back on our TV screens this past Monday night. That was nice to see. Do we get the Tribal Chief against Braun Breaker at Crown Jewel, or we get Roman Reigns and Jey Uso against the Vision at Crown Jewel? We'll have to see how that plays out. Raw's in Dallas this coming Monday, so we'll get more answers to those questions. By the way, I will be covering Crown Jewel for WrestlingHeadlines.com, so make sure to check out my transcripts there. In the results section, as I'll be covering SmackDown tonight, obviously, as well. We'll see the fallout from that controversial, I guess, triple threat match with Tiffany, Nia, and Jade. I liked the match for what it was. Not all matches have had the same sequences of a Will Ospreay, Bryan Danielson match. Pro wrestling is supposed to be a fight. Sometimes it's not going to look pretty. I don't know what Nia was doing. I don't know what the confusion was with the kick-out situation. The ref, Nia, and Tiffany all looked bad in that situation. I'll say that, but I'm not going to let that one spot ruin the entire fucking match. The match itself was physical, and I thought it served its purpose. Tonight we got Cody Rhodes. Speaking of matches for the main event, we got SmackDown tonight. Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton take on the Vision in Cincinnati, Ohio, as MJF would say. So they got going that. We got another Sami Zayn U.S. title open challenge. We got Tiffany Stratton's going to be on the show. I think Damian Priest is having a match. So SmackDown should be on like Donkey Kong. And then coming up on Tuesday, we got NXT Showdown. It's NXT versus TNA. Two Survivor Series style matches, pitting Team TNA and against Team NXT. On the TNA side, for the women, we got new Knockouts World Champion Kalani Jordan, The Inspiration, and Mara Sade taking on Team NXT's Jacy Jane, Lola Vice, Jada Parker, and Sol Ruka, the beautiful Sol Ruka. May I add that? We got that. On the men's side, for NXT, we got Ricky Saints, Trick Williams, Javon Evans, and Miles Bourne taking on Team TNA, Mike Santana, Frankie Kazarian, Moose, and Leon Slater. That's going to be a barn burner. We have Ethan Page putting his NXT North American Championship on the line against Mustafa Ali. And we have a winner-takes-all match for the tag titles, which features the Hardy Boys against Dark State. Yes. Also, they announced today that NXT will be returning to the theater at Madison Square Garden. That's going to be on November 18th. That's taking place out there in New York City. Pretty cool deal. They had the Roadblock special. I believe that was at the theater at Madison Square Garden earlier this year. So I'm glad that they're going back to that venue. That was a nice place to have a wrestling show, so it's cool that they're going back there for that. Obviously, John Cena's last appearance at Madison Square Garden will be the night before on Raw, so some good shit there. November's going to be a busy but fun month for your boy. We got Crown Jewel. Not Crown Jewel. I meant we have Survivor Series War Games in San Diego. John Cena making appearances in Boston and both Gardens back-to-back weeks. And I get my move started to Florida. So give me to November, damn it. Oh, man. On that note, that is what happened this week in WWE. When I come back, I'll answer your questions for this week's edition of the Back Porch Q&A session right here on episode 485 of the Hoots Podcast. We'll be right back. Eat. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what we're attempting to do here on the podcast of Hoots for this week. Time to answer your questions for this week's edition of the Back Porch Q&A session right here on the podcast of Hoots. Let's do it. Start out the X for the good brother Chris Letta. That X-Letta24X on the Twitter machine. Here's Chris's questions for the program. He says, what up, Boost? Here's some questions for the Q&A this week. What's been a highlight for you during this TNA NXT partnership? I'll make this short and brief, the entire thing. Anybody that says that TNA's been getting the short end of the stick has not been paying attention. If you look at this objectively compared to how the TNA and AEW relationship went on, it's fucking night and day. So, yeah, it's been the entire thing, and I think Tuesday will be the emphasis of that. Do you think there's more than just introduction at WrestlePalooza between Heyman and Brock? Oh, of course. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Heyman's alongside Brock's corner when Brock is ready to retire from WWE. So, yeah, it's far from over from those two guys. Your quick thought on Andrade back in AEW, LOL. Meh. You want a quick thought? There you go. Meh. Favorite match for No Mercy? Good question. I'm going to go with the steel cage match with Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe. Is there more for Oba and NXT after losing the title? Maybe you could do something with Trick Williams, one more feud or something like that, but I think he's probably bound for the main roster. Thoughts on Kalani as the new Knockouts Women's Champion? I'm happy for her. Capitalizing on the opportunity. Will she have a long title right there? Probably not. But I'm happy for her. It's cool to see that. I think that was Victory Road, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Last question here. Do you think John Cena will be in War Games come Survivor Series? Well, that all depends on how things are going to play out for these shows at, Boston and MSG before Survivor Series. All we know right now is that John Cena is fighting AJ Styles at Crown Jewel in Australia. That's all we know for now. Could I see John Cena in the War Games? Maybe. But right now, if I had to put like a percentage on it, I'd probably say like 60 or 40%, to be honest with you, Chris. But on that note, we're going to put a ribbon on the bow on this week's edition of the podcast at Hoots. I want to thank Chris for the awesome questions this week. As always, make sure to follow him on Twitter at XTheLetta24X on the Twitter machine. As always, if you want to participate in the Back Porch Q&A session, all you have to do is hit me up at Twitter at the Hoots Podcast or the Hoots Podcast at gmail.com. Don't forget to check out all my transcripts at the results section of WrestlingHeadlines.com and my website, ProWrestlingTranscriptions.com. And don't forget, the podcast comes to you free of charge every single Friday. And where you get your podcast from, appreciate Odyssey for having us as our home base and our home channel. And also, don't forget to follow the podcast on YouTube, youtube.com at the Hoots Podcast. On that note, remember, folks, be the authentic product that is yourself. Remember, nobody dictates the pace of your life but yourself and the man upstairs. I'm Joshie. Have a wonderful weekend, ladies and gentlemen. And excited for next week. Next week, we'll get ready to preview Crown Jewel. That's going to be an interesting weekend. Getting up at the crack of dawn to cover some wrestling. but it's all good. It's all part of the grind in the game, man. Love y'all, man. Don't forget, you can hit me up on X at the Hoots Podcast, Instagram at Joshie Lopez Music. And also, make sure to hit us up on the Surf Files, the new podcast. Make sure to follow that up on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at the Surf Files. The SUR Files at Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. So, on that note, we're going to put a rim in the bow on this week's edition of the podcast at Hoots. The countdown to episode 500 now goes from 485 to 486. So that means we have 14 more episodes left. I love y'all. We'll be here to preview Crown Jewel next week. And we'll talk to you on the other side. Yeet.
Bye-bye, bitch.